solving problem number 50, we have to figure out what real numbers we could replace x with so that the left side of this expression here would be less than 0. So we have to find real numbers that would make this statement true. The only way we're going to be able to do that really is to figure out what are the zeros of the left side. So what x value makes this first factor 0? 1/2. So 1/2 is it's a critical value because it causes the left side to be 0. -2 is a critical value as well as -5. So these three numbers make the left side equal to 0. So we have to set up a sign chart. It's the easiest way, or you could actually you could do this. You could think of the graph of the function. Each of these multiplicities is 1. So if we were to graph y equals the same function, it's the easiest way to do it. Like that, if we graph it, we know we have these three x-intercepts: 1/2, -2, and -5, and we know the graph goes up from left to right. And so if we look at the graph, we can see clearly that it's less than 0 to the left of -5. It's positive in between -5 and -2, negative in between -2 and 1/2, and then positive again to the right. So how would we do that if we looked at the factors? Well, if you replace x with any number negative to the left of -5, you would see like -10, -20 minus 1, that's a negative factor. -10 plus 2, that's also a negative factor. And then -10 plus 5, also a negative factor. Three negatives, when you multiply three negative numbers together, you're going to get a negative number. So on that interval, from -infinity to -5, so I'm showing you two different ways to do the same problem, as well as from -2 to 1/2, we're going to have any real number here would make that statement true. Any real number here would make that statement true, because any real number on either of these intervals causes the left side to be negative, which is exactly what we want. We want negative. We need the real numbers to replace x with that would cause the statement to be true, the left side to be 0 or less than 0. Likewise, though, let's go ahead and continue with the factors if you're still kind of shaky on that. In between -5 and -2, we could replace x with, let's say, -3. If we replace this x and this factor with -3, we're going to get a factor that's negative. If we replace x and this factor with -3, we also get another factor that's negative. And then putting -3 in this place of this x, we see that that factor actually is positive. So negative times positive means we're going to get positive, just like we said over here. And then, so after you cross over to the right, each of these zeros, you're going to get one more factor becoming positive. So that's why we see it alternating negative, positive, negative, positive. And so anyway, between -2 and 1/2, that's where we can finally replace x with 0. We get a negative factor there, and the other two factors are positive. One negative means that the entire over that entire interval, the value of the left side will be negative, and then to the right of 1/2, all factors are positive. Therefore, the product of the left side is positive. And so, therefore, we say the solution is, again, all real numbers to the left of -5, combined with all real numbers between -2 and not -1/2, but positive 1/2. Positive 1/2. And we can avoid having to do the sign chart if you could just draw the graph quickly and notice that the graph being under the x-axis means the function is negative, and so therefore the product of all the factors is negative. That's it.